Hey guys, it's Dino, DigitSpin Crypto. Welcome to the show. We're gonna do some fun stuff tonight and talk about some goodies. So I want to start off with the basics. The first thing I wanted to tell you, I'm just a goofy guy in a straw hat. Do your own research. Nothing that I say obviously is meant to be financial advice. You know, hopefully you'll learn something and you can apply it to your broad base of knowledge and make some good decisions in how you want to handle your cryptocurrency. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring up a couple of little windows so I can see everything that's there. Very good, very good. So wanted to talk about a couple of things tonight. First, we want to talk about some Bitcoin. We'll talk about some Electroneum, and of course, if you have any questions, you'll be able to put them in the chat so that I know what's going on. Let's see what we got going. My buddy Webdollar. Yeah, we'll talk about Webdollar in a few moments. Let's see here. Let's go to YouTube. So tonight's just a basic live show to go over the basics. Now, don't forget, if you subscribe, as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to give away 1,000 Electroneum and 1,000 Webdollars. So don't forget to do that. And let's go to. This is going to take a moment. We'll get this set up here. They make you go to the classics. I also dropped a video about an hour ago. Just a small meme, some fun stuff of me setting up the cloud mining. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining. If you liked it, drop me a like. And don't forget to check that out. Let's see here. We got our live stream. And just want to make sure we're all connected and we're good. It says here, we're live. We says we got a couple of viewers, so this is all good. All right. So we got Sergeant of Marines out there. There he is. It's good to see you, Sergeant. Glad that you're able to show up and check things out. We got Crypto Man out there, so that's good to see you also. Let's take a look at a couple of basic things. Let's go to our good coin market cap, and let's move myself out of here. Put me down. I'm almost fading away into the whiteness here. I'm gonna have to. I don't have a head. I just have a brim. I just have a just a little black band on my head. I might have to make the background darker or something. Let's see, where are we with Bitcoin? 36. So the Bart Simpson didn't go down. We ended up keeping the Bart Simpson, so that's a good thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Think it's gonna go down further? No, I'm telling you. I'm thinking we're really close. I don't believe that we're gonna see. I really don't believe we're gonna see $2,000 Bitcoin or $2,500 Bitcoin. I think it's gonna stick around in this area. There's just too much potential energy stored up in everything, from banks to exchanges to ATMs to integration. I don't see it going too much further. So I've been spending a lot of time mining and trying to acquire as much as I can to hold on to it. I've been buying some Electroneum. The price is right, and I think that we're going to see some good news. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I think there's going to be some good news at the mobile conference. We got the 25th or something. Today's the 15th. So yeah, Valentine's Day yesterday. I hope you got your loved one something. My wife goes, well, Dino, we're going to go out for dinner tonight. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so she had picked out this Colorado steaks. It was a nice Colorado prime steaks or something like that. So that was pretty good. I come prepared tonight, though. I got my Mint and Milano cookies. So that's all good. I got my soda. My wife got me this here. It's like this insulated cup, so this works out good. It keeps everything cool. So that's good stuff. I'll put that off to the side. So Crypto Man, he thinks he's going, Dino, you know, I think we've hit bottom. The Crypto Man is saying. Yeah, I think you're pretty much on point. I can't see it going too much further down. I mean, anything's possible. But yeah, I know that they're calling for it to go lower, but I can't see it going down too much lower. I agree with you 100% there. So I'd stick with that. So Sergeant of Marines is saying Electroneum's gonna reign supreme, and I think you're right. I think there's Electroneum has set themselves up. Now we're gonna talk about some other coins and some other things that are going on, but Electroneum has set themselves up. You listen to all the guys, that are on the YouTube and all the talking heads. It's got to have instant transactions. It's got to be friendly to people. It's got to be mobile processed and be able to pick up your phone and make it easy and carry it around. It's got to be on volume exchanges. It's got to be easy to get a hold of. And I'm going to tell you, Electroneum checkbox, every box on the list, Electroneum checks it off. And it's shocking that there's not more. Electroneum is the most undervalued coin that you can get your hands on at this time. And once things start rolling and you start to see the interaction happening with it, I think there's going to be a big rubber band snap with the value of Electroneum. My personal opinion. But I'm betting the farm on it. I'm sure a couple of you are too. Hey, certainly bullish. Yeah, he goes, are we live? Yes, we are live there, certainly bullish. Yeah, I dropped a video a few minutes ago on Electroneum, the Electroneum cloud mining. I got a chance to upgrade. I started playing with the cloud miner, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty seamless. You do your gesture and give him a Mr. Scuttle. Hey, Mr. Scuttle. And and you give him that. It sets itself up. It was it was painless. It worked really seamlessly. I was happy with it. I know that if you take a look, we did a video back in probably September when they were talking about cloud mining, and we did an analysis on how it might work out, and basically it's pretty much what we expected and what we talked about back in that video. You can check my archives on cloud mining for Electroneum, but it was a while back, and they did a brilliant job. Really easy, really simple, very secure. It was well worth the wait, and you guys should be very proud of having some Electroneum in your pocket. There's no doubt Electroneum is going to see some excitement. I have no doubt about it. There's going to be some excitement in the future. It's just a matter of holding on to things and waiting our turn, just like everybody else in the crypto market right now. It's just everybody's just waiting to see what happens. So, the Sergeant of Marines, he goes, I think Electroneum, I think Electroneum's gonna pop to 50 cents. That's a great value if you think it's gonna pop to 50 cents. In my mind, I see 50 cents with no problem. Just a matter of when that date is. There's no doubt in my mind. Electroneum should easily be a $1 to $2 coin. Easily. So hitting 50 cents, I think, is a very possible outcome. Now, I'm not saying it's going to hit 50 cents next week or next month or in 6 months, but what I'm telling you is that as it gets used, it's you're going to see some value there. There's no doubt. I think that's a very good prediction. Okay. Certainly bullish. He's saying, hey, I'm thinking a mobile partnership for one of the announcements is obvious. I think Electroneum would want to announce partnerships at the Mobile World Conference. Yeah. Clearly they have one or two things that they're going to talk about. I saw something on Telegram on one of the public channels. I think it was one of the price channels or whatever. And Chris Gorman saying, buckle up, it's going to be pretty exciting. So don't doubt that man. If he tells you something's going to be pretty exciting, I would rest assured it's going to be pretty exciting. So I wouldn't let that go by the wayside. So he's saying, by waiting to do this at the MWC would create a buzz at the conference. What a better way to get the word out while being at the conference than to make a partnership. Yeah, and you know what? You're going to see others. I think Richard was talking about announcing it with a vendor that's going to be present to announce, and why it makes sense to include Electroneum in your virtual mobile networks and in the mobile networks, and the value that it brings and what the opportunities will happen by doing this. So I think you're going to see other virtual operators and regular operators dip their toe into the Electroneum pool to at least ask questions and see what's going on. I can tell you Electroneum's got a lot of stuff on their plate. They have not been snoozing through all this. Everybody else, you see a lot of these projects falling to the wayside, people getting laid off. You see projects just not doing anything. Electroneum has been spinning at top speed behind the scenes, and when things start to pick up, it's going to be very relative to the attraction and usage by people. And in the meantime, you're seeing these things hit the market, hitting folks, so they can actually use this stuff. So yeah, don't doubt it. Don't doubt it at all. All right. So Crypto Man, he's thinking, I believe one of the announcements will go live with an existing partnership. For example, Joytel. Yeah, it would make sense to grab somebody that already has a handshake with Electroneum, has talked with them, is already set up, already put the ink on the paper, and to talk about the value of what Electroneum brings. So that would make sense to entice and to show others, hey, this is what we've done. And don't forget, Electroneum has been building, you have people who start whining, complaining, oh, there's not a lot of stuff being put on GitHub. Well, half of what Electroneum does is private software. It's their corporation software, and it does not get put on GitHub, and you don't know what's going on with that. However, you can know that Rich has been real clear that they've been developing a litany of tool sets that these carriers or whoever wants to include Electroneum will be able to use, such as the accounting systems, and to see what the valuation of the Electroneum that was brought in that day, so that they can do their math. There are certain things that have to be in place so that they can easily incorporate it, and to be able to account for the Electroneum that's going in and out of their pockets, because it's going to be a lot, and the value that it's worth. So don't doubt the amazing work effort that's been going on, and it should show even in the cloud mining solution. It should show the level of professionalism and quality of software development that's happening. and right down to the little graphics and the interactions and how that's all been put together. Top notch, top notch. And no, you can't complain whatsoever. Can't complain whatsoever. It's good stuff. Crypto Man goes, he goes, hey, if we hit 50 cents, I'm calling off my job search. Yeah, I don't blame you. I probably could call off mine too. Whoops, sorry about the camera move. We got a little shaking earthquake. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, 50 cents is, would be a very pleasant, a pleasant benefit. I just feel bad for the people that that haven't looked into Electroneum and or falling for the scam artists out there that talk bad about Electroneum, and they're gonna lose out on an opportunity for themselves. So it is what it is. All right, Sergeant. Hey, we got Paul and we got Double X out there. It's good to see you guys. Good evening. Hey, Paul. Glad to see that you made it. Love your haircut there. That's some good stuff. Hey, crush your head. Hey, crush your head. Crush. I guess you have to be a Saturday Night Live from the 70s viewer to know that one. Hey, we got H-Bomb out there. How's it going, H-Bomb? Good to see you, man. Glad that you made it by. And it's always good things. Hey, so I want to tell you about a couple of things. Let's get into Bitcoin, and I want to tell you a little bit about Webdollar. But I was noticing, if you were on my Telegram channel, you would have heard me talk about this a little bit. So it's always good to join our Telegram group. Don't cost anything. You just click the link, and you'll learn a lot of new information out there. For example, things like Webdollar. Webdollar is just now starting to get on some exchanges. They're kind of the first ones are obviously small exchanges, but that's going to start to happen. Webdollar is added proof of stake and proof of work. So while you're mining on your web browser, it'll mine for a third of the time as proof of work, and then 2/3 of the time it mines as proof of stake. So this way everything can be controlled and harder to hack. So they've been putting in a lot of effort there, doing a lot of amazing stuff over at Webdollar, and it's going to start to pay off for them. They haven't slept a wink, and they've been running through this even though the pricing is and the market's stagnant. They're going full speed. So what I wanted to talk about was I was noticing if you go over to miningpoolstats.com. Now, I want to preface this with look at that, I can't even get something. There we go. Obviously I don't know what I'm doing. It's probably .io or something. Miningpoolstats.stream. Yeah, what do I know? Alright. Let's go to Electroneum. Now, at first, I was a little taken back by this. But, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. I guess I'm more of a little disappointed, but really, I can't. There it is. A little disappointed, but it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna call this out, but let me say it doesn't. It has not and is not affecting the network. It's not wrong or morally bad. I guess I'm just kind of disappointed, but at the same time, companies are in business to make money, and they're going to use the system any way they can to make the money, and that's just the way life is. And having said that, if they were actually trying to damage the network, they could, because they're holding back to not do that. But I do want to call this out. Nobody else has mentioned it. and I do want to let you know that it's out there and what is happening. Though I'm not worried about it in any fashion, or I'm not concerned. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's just a little tidbit of information so that you can keep it under your hat and available to you, so you know what's going on. You take a look at mining pool stats, and you'll see, pooling's been allowing everybody to join in. They've had a pretty level field of hash rate, and it seems to always be in that 1.2 to 1.5 gigahash. I've seen it a little bit higher than that. But if you go to F2 Pool, you'll notice F2 Pool is running 1.9 gigahash at the moment. And they have the ability to run 4 gigahash. I've seen them do it. All right. So if they were looking to be damaging anything, they could do that with the 4 gigahash using this methodology. Now let me explain what I'm talking about. Before we went to ASICs, we were running GPUs. And what was happening is that people were going into nice hash, and they were cyclically mining up and down, so that they would mine a whole bunch of coins before the difficulty caught up to them, and then as soon as it did, they would drop off. The problem lies is that they were adding so much hash power that it was offsetting the block timing, and the average of the block time went up, so our transactions were slowing down and what have you. All right, F2 Pool has the capacity to do that, but they're not. So they're not trying to damage the environment. They're playing. They're monetizing their equipment in a way to not damage the environment, but at the same time to maximize their profitability. So if you take a look at F2 Pool, you'll see they're running in this cyclical manner. They're turning on whatever they're running, whether they're FPGAs or they're ASICs. I would assume they're ASICs, and they're bringing them up so that they can score as many coins as possible before the difficulty catches up, and then they're dropping it, and then waiting for everybody to bring the difficulty back. It's not changing the difficulty too bad at all, and the good news is, let's say if we go to let's go to Nanopool. Let's take a look at Nanopool here. We can go to, let's see if we can lower this down, and let's look at the stats at Nanopool. So Nanopool is a good resource to look at. Let's move this over a little bit so that we can see this a little better, and do a little housekeeping here. I just want you guys to understand there's no problem here, but I do want you to understand what's happening. So we take a look here. You will now see the effect that F2 Pool is creating. You can see the block timing going up and down based on when they're throwing off and on their equipment. All right, and they're causing these spikes. And this black line is the average block time. So if you take a look, normally it's 122 seconds. It's supposed to be 120 seconds. All right, and you can see when they do this, it can bring it upwards of 200 seconds, but then it'll drop back down. So here's the good news, is that they're causing this block time to go up by an extra 30 seconds. No big deal. When we were running with GPUs, when this was happening, it was throwing our block time off up to 10 minutes. And that was a significant problem. But as they're doing this here, you'll see it'll drop down to 120, and it'll go up to 145. So they're only altering it by about 20 seconds. The F2 Pool has been sensitive to make sure that they don't damage the environment that they're trying to excavate from. So by applying enough hashing power to do what they need, but at the same time not to damage the working times and working speeds. So this isn't too bad, but it is an effect, and you can see it out there. They're causing, because normally we would have a reasonably calm environment. With this hashing power being dropped off and on, it's obviously causing this vibration in the environment. And the reason why, let me explain why they're doing this. It allows them, if you have to pay for electricity for your equipment, okay, for a particular period of time, and you're spending, I don't know, $5,000 a month to run your Electroneum equipment at the value that they're running, their quantity of equipment that they're running. So if I just kicked on all those ASICs and let them flatline, yeah, the hash power would go up dramatically and the system would run and they would be earning their, half the coins that are produced so that they can sell them or squirrel them away, whatever they're doing. All right. By using this methodology, and this is just the nature of blockchain and how blockchain works, by using this methodology, they can bang up, double the hash power real quick and scoop up significant amounts of coins as they're going along. A multiplier, it might be 1.5 times. And then when the difficulty catches up or the timing catches up, you shut off your equipment. And that's what you see here. So you figure if they're leaving it on about 2/3 of the time and shutting off 1/3, they're able to shut off that equipment and save that electric for that period of time. So if you can now change your $5,000 down to $3,500, it's a savings, and you're making basically the same amount of coins as if you left the machines running at all times. So they can save 1/3 of the electricity and still have the same amount of coins as if they left the machines running. And they can only do this because they have so many machines that actually double the amount of hash power that's out there when they kick them on. You take a look, you'll see, you got 1.2, 1.3, you got 0.3, 0.2. So when you add it all up, they're making sure that they're balancing everybody else against them. So they're basically just doubling the power that's out there. And like I said, I've seen them bring up 4 gigahash, 3.9 gigahash. I've seen them bring up a lot of muscle when they needed it. So if they were to do that, then that would significantly alter the functionality of the blockchain. But they're not. So they're being a reasonably good partner, but doing what they need to do to be as effective and economically supportive to what they need to produce. So I just wanted to bring that out to you. And if you take a look at F2 Pool, Electroneum is not the only one that they do this to. You'll take a look and you'll see Pascal coin. See what they're doing here? Oscillating off and on the machines so that they can maximize. This seems to be a general practice of being able to maximize the coins that they can produce. Here, they're doing the same thing with Ravencoin. Ravencoin, one of the coins I happen to mine. I've been mining that for almost a year. I think it's been about a year. Ravencoin, they're doing the same thing. They're throwing it up and down, waiting for the difficulty to go up and down, maximizing their coins. This is a SOP, standard operating procedure for them. You'll see Bitcoin Cash. Don't ask me why they're mining Bitcoin Cash, but they are. They're doing a similar thing, but they're timing it because others are also involved. They're timing it, and so you'll see that their timing is changing. I think they may have somebody that actually just watches and does this, but this seems to be standard procedure for them to produce and be more effective in their and maximizing their electricity against what they can earn. And Electroneum is so standard, so works like a clockwork, that it's almost like a tick, just like Pascal coin. It's almost a tick, a timing tick as it goes along. So that's a sign it's good. So F2 Pool is not trying to damage, not trying to hurt anybody. They're just trying to maximize their profitability. And as a business, that's what you do. You know, you try to earn the most that you can to keep yourself in business. So I just wanted to bring this to you. I doubt anybody else has, and explain what you're seeing and understanding what's going on in the mining for Electroneum. So don't fear, don't worry, but know what's going on. Understand not only the coin and the value that the coin brings, but the mechanics behind it and what's keeping it alive and how it's functioning. And it's good to have all that knowledge. Let's take a look at the at the goodies over here. Let's see what we got. XX wants to know, has anybody had trouble doing taxes on cryptos? Yeah, I haven't a clue. I'm going to be honest here. My taxes are going to be relatively easy for crypto because I don't sell any of them. I just put it in the bag, put it in the bag. There's one over here, put it in the bag. So I haven't sold any, so I don't have to worry about it until I sell them. So we got... Paul's saying mining and staking right now, and it's working well. So Paul's talking about Webdollar. Yeah, Webdollar's been doing some awesome stuff, and you can take a look when you log in here. Let's not clog up my machine with processing power. But yeah, you go to Webdollar. Oh, let's get my face out of the way here. You go to Webdollar. You can now obviously pick the pool that you want to work with. Each one of these pools, there was only a couple when staking came out, and as the pools upgraded, they were able to get relisted on the connection. So you pick one of these, and you'll see it'll start to go down here. It'll start to tell you hashing, and then all of a sudden it'll change to staking, and the word staking will come up. And so depending on how many Webdollars you have sitting here, now this is my machine. See, this is what you want to do. This is this is my machine that I keep for my my video broadcast. And when I'm not video broadcasting, I just let Webdollar run. Now look at that. I have, it's been a month and a half. I didn't have my equipment online because we moved the building. But from December, somewhere around there, till about now, I've secured 17,900 Webdollars on this Ryzen 5. The Ryzens do really well, and you too get yourself some Webdollars because it's highly speculative. But it uses it doesn't use your GPU. You don't have to use a GPU. You can use your processor. It's sitting there doing, it's running anyway. Let it do a little work and mine it, and who knows, if Webdollar gets on some good exchanges. And the guys building this stuff have done they've delivered what they said, not in the time. I think they had expectations of being able to do things a lot faster, but I think a lot of people give them the feedback that get it right. Because if you're going to get on exchanges, they're not going to accept people changing the code every 3 days. Get it right, build it in a test environment, and then, once every few months you release an update. And that's what they did here. They released the staking. They were working on this for probably 4 months at least. And, I know they had the basics running, but they ran it through and got through the testing, and they did everything right, and they released it when it was functioning, and they knew that there wasn't going to be problems with it. And I, for one, congratulate them on that. I would rather wait 4 months and have the product work well. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Personally, I like the development team. I like what they're doing with the product, with the blockchain. I like that it's all custom from the bottom up, and they still have a long way to go. They still got to get it on exchanges. Which is going to be the big thing, so that we can start to show a value for these instead of just people who sell them, over the counter. It'd be good to have a benchmark somewhere that's trusted, that can, give us a benchmark for the price of Webdollar. But I think that they're going to pull it off. So I'm still going with this speculative. For all I know, it could turn out to be completely worthless. But I'm giving credence to think that they're going to turn it into something special, and we'll find out. We'll see what happens with it. But if your machine's not doing anything, just go to webdollar.io. Let it mine some. If it's it's not doing anything, don't cost you anything. Don't until they start getting on exchanges, you can see what the value is. Then you can see if it's worthwhile to buy Webdollars. But in the meantime, mine them, collect them, put them in your pocket. You never know. Same thing that happened with Bitcoin. Yeah, they had no idea this thing was gonna have any value. You don't know. So that's how that works. Crypto Man saying. He says, I've been mining Webdollar since you mentioned it many months ago. I'm excited to see what they do. It's so easy that I forgot I even mining it 24/7 on a spare laptop. There you go. That's exactly it. I have a bunch of machines, and then a few scattered around the building. And when the guys go home at night, I run over to it and I click Webdollar and I type it in and I let them run, and let it do its job. See what happens. It can't hurt. All right. Hey, we got Kanga out there. Good to see you, Kanga. Yo, Dino, any word on the Unified Signal partnership? They have a good suite of services. They've gone from ETN time. They're gone from the ETN timeline. Yeah. No, I have no word on Signal. And I can't speak to that. I can't add anything of value to that particular conversation that would satisfy you, unfortunately. And I haven't heard anything that I would be able to share on it. I've heard of the situation. I saw on Telegram a couple of people were mentioning that seems to be gone from the timeline, and it could be just delayed. It could, I don't know, other things could have happened. I don't know. Keep in mind. What was the exchange that took a year to get us on it? Sometimes things just get delayed, and that's just the way it is. But on the same side, I would tend to tell you that there's so many sticks in the fire with Electroneum, and if a couple break off, I'm not worried about it. There's just tons of activity that's happening with Electroneum, and I'm going to tell you, it's my gut feeling that it's going to be far better reaching than anybody can think of when it's known. So, Crypto Man saying he thinks Elevate Group may be adding Electroneum as their option for their hosted mining service. The owner is a big proponent of Electroneum. That's good. We'll have to see. I'll take a look into that and see if I can find out some information. My time is still rather limited. When we moved the building, I had to get obviously all the equipment online. I had to get everything running, and bring up all of the manufacturing hardware, and that put me behind. It's been a difficult move, and it put me behind about 3.5 weeks on manufacturing. So I have people that were having deadlines for trade shows and what have you, and I had to have their product there for them to use Otherwise, they'd be standing in an empty booth. And I've never let down a customer. You know, I make a commitment to them. So I'm gonna be honest, I've been working 16, 18-hour days, mostly 16-hour days to catch up with it. So I'm just now starting to see us catch up with a lot of the projects, and the timeline is going from, you know, I have to get this made in 3 or 4 days to, you know, we got a week and a half now, and we're getting close to getting it back out to that 4-week window. And then I can start to spend some more time doing research. I don't get on Telegram as much at the moment, but over the next, you know, weeks, in the period ahead, you'll start to see more and more of me, and I'll be able to start doing a lot more research again and bringing you the news that you come here for. So, all right, Certain Bullish says, thanks, Dino. I just want to let you know you're the guy that explains things, and thank you for explaining it. Not a problem there, Mr. Bullish. Paul goes, yeah, Bitcoin Cash, that's the fool's gold. You have of the crypto community. You have Bitcoin, the gold community, the gold of crypto, and Bitcoin Cash, the fool's gold. You know, I think for a while there, I thought that Bitcoin Cash had an opportunity to possibly be something. I believe that this breakup that happened between the guys, the cash guys, has caused significant damage to their product, and I'm not sure if it's going to be recoverable. And you know, there's always a value there, but I'm not sure it's going to be recoverable. And everybody wants to do these Bitcoins. You know, these guys that have been in it for a while, they want to clone and fork off the Bitcoin blockchain so that they'll have whatever tens of thousands of coins they have. They'll have tens of thousands in the new one, and making them even more money. I find that offensive. I just find it really offensive that the guys that have started this off and that have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of coins do a fork, and then they're immediately issued 100,000 of the new fork, basically, quote, doubling their money, and doing a third one and tripling it. And the people that were in early keep just inventing this stuff to create more wealth for themselves out of thin air, bringing nothing of value by duplicating Bitcoin, which already runs and works just fine, and duplicating it and selling it to people. And it's offensive to me. Now, I do like these new projects, and I'll tell you, I still mine Suka coin. I keep a couple of rigs on that just in case. I like what they're doing, but Ravencoin, all these coins started with a fair launch and gave everybody opportunity to earn some of the coins. Now, keep in mind that obviously the people that start them up usually have a head start or have the equipment lined up, and are putting a lot of effort into generating a significant amount of coins right off the bat. But the fact of the matter is that it's giving everybody an opportunity, unlike when they just clone a fork or fork off, Bitcoin, and are just instantly granted, 1%, 2% of the total supply right out of the box, just because they existed. In other words, they didn't have to invest, they didn't have to mine it, they didn't have to put any effort into securing it and shoving their way through the crowd to earn it just like everybody else. They're just magically granted it, like with pixie dust. And so yeah, I agree with you. There's just no way I will put money into those things, and I think we're going to see a good shakeout. I think people are starting to get a lot wiser in their spending habits. At least I'm hoping so. Obviously, when we get new people, there'll be new people that'll not know any better and put money into some of these things. But there's just, things that are projects that are, 10 years from now we're gonna do this. Don't I'm not gonna waste my time or money on those things. We're going to be delivering, White Castles in space to the space station. Invest now. I'm like, no, thank you. Those types of projects, you're going to see take a beating. There's just no way that that's going to pan out. It's too far in the future. It's too what ify, and there's only a certain percentage of these coins that are going to survive. Things like Electroneum are going to do well. I think BitTube is going to do well. Obviously, a lot of the coins in the top 25 are going to do reasonably well. But there's no reason for Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV except to make the guys who forked it rich. Bitcoin already exists. There's no reason for it. It doesn't do anything better. It doesn't. They have plans to try to do something better with it. They have plans to do stuff, but any Bitcoin at the moment, it's just I just don't see it. So I agree with you, Paul. All right, let's see here. Hey, Duncan saying, hey, Dino, hope you're well. Yeah, doing good. I'm exhausted, trying to keep up with stuff, but everything's going just fine and dandy, as they would say. Let's see what else we got here. What am I making these days? With F2 pool going up and down, it's allowing me to secure more coins these days. Let's take a look here. Let's go to Crypt Unit. I've been able to earn a lot more. So take a look here. 435 is showing. Because normally we were at 200, 250 a day there. When F2 Pool put all of their resources in place, they were putting that 4 gigahash. That was dropping me down to 250 coins a day. So now that F2 Pool has pulled back, has only put in half the hash power, and is alternating it, my machine's bringing in 450 to, I've seen as high as 700 coins in a day. So I'm squirreling those away. And if you take a look here, let's go to the details. This is important to know too about Electroneum. I try to get you the background information, the mining mechanics, so that you understand the basics of what's going on. If you take a look, you go to a Crypt Unit, and you go to this Reward tab. So here, this is the mining reward that's happening. So you can see here in January 21st, every block was earning, if you take a look here, was earning 8,859. Now, it was what, midsummer, it was earning about 11,000 coins per block. So we have significantly decreased. And then, at some point, it's going to be harder and harder to get Electroneum. So that's why I'm trying to squirrel away as many as I can now before it goes down. But you take a look here, February 16th. This is just a month worth of... Every time a block is created, unlike Bitcoin, let's start over. Bitcoin, every 2 years, it divides in half. So right now you get 3.5 Bitcoins, and sometime in end of 2020, they'll divide that in half, and everybody will then earn 1.75 Bitcoins that they'll have to split amongst themselves. All right. So instead of having this massive change, a division in half, the Monero base code, which Electroneum is based on, takes a little bite every block. So you don't have this big stair step you have a nice smooth curve. So it takes just a little bit away, the next time just takes a little bit away, the next time just takes a little bit away. So, and this is what they've done. So in the last 30 days, you figure January 17th to now, so back then we were earning 8,859. Now we're down to 8,500. So there's 379 less coins earned per block. And that's going to continue to happen as we go along. So this way you understand. And this, in my opinion, can increase the value of the coins. I know some people will go on the premise that the value, the mining value is based on the price, and some people say the price is based on how much it costs to mine. And I think, I think mining, in my personal opinion, I think mining does play a part in the price and what they're willing to sell it for if you're putting in the effort to earn it. So as time goes along, it's going to be harder and harder to get a hold of the Electroneum. It'll make it more difficult, and then eventually it'll tail off where you'll earn just a little bit. That's what's happened to Monero. All right, let's take a look here. So this is important to learn and to understand. It's called a reward, the block reward, okay? And you can look at this at decryptunit.com. You can see our hash rate, what's happening there. Obviously, price is price. There's not much to tell you about that. Quantity of miners, so you can see here how many ASICs are out there. So right now we're about 8,700 ASICs. So there's a lot of machines out there. All right. So certainly bullish. He's saying, hey, Dino, the second Electroneum announcement could be the release of the Giguru website, maybe on Monday. It's possible. I think they were talking about maybe bringing. Releasing one of the news tidbits early if it was prepared and capable of being done, so that they would be present in the office to provide any support before the show, and that would make sense for the for launching of a website. And it's possible. The guys at Electroneum keep shocking me with the level of effort that they've been putting into things and the speed of which they've been generating some really quality stuff. The updates to the website, the fact that they updated the Electroneum website kind of tells me they're working websites and they got some dedicated people to make those things happen. And putting together an interactive site to be able to do the gig economy. It shouldn't be too extreme to do. Obviously, it's going to need a lot of testing and what have you, and security. But I think it's possible. I think that's a very good guess, and I would probably give that a 50-50 chance that that's probably the announcement. But what do I know? I don't know anything. Hey, we got the Daily News out there. Good to see you. Glad that you were able to make the show. We appreciate you stopping by. So Daily News is saying it's going to be an exciting next 2 weeks for Electroneum with the big announcements and Mobile World Conference. Yeah, the two announcements I think are going to be important. I'm hoping that one is the Giguru website. Because that would be nice to bring into the Mobile World Conference, to not only say, hey, you want to have us on your virtual providers and on the regular providers. Let me tell you why. Instant payment, accounting background software, 2.7 million users, these many people signing up to add it to their mobile networks. Don't you get left behind. And we have a gig website that the people will be able to earn it. They're going to want to play with it on their phone and be able to turn it into your phone minutes. So that makes a lot of sense. They're going to be on here. They're going to be doing selfies of themselves and selling them for 100 Electroneum. They'll have a dazzling selfie of hi, and they'll sell for 100 Electroneum, and then they'll take that and they'll be able to convert it right into the cell phone minutes, and that they can then barter with that way, or barter with the Electroneum directly and send it to their friend, or purchase that item from them. It's all good stuff. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know about this stuff, and you just need to have proper patience to let it come to fruition. The seeds are planted. Everything is in place, and there's no other coin that has anything like this stuff. None. This is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer with Electroneum. If you don't own some Electroneum, you're doing yourself wrong. That's my personal, unabridged opinion. Crypto Man goes, yeah, I just want to tell you that Bitcoin's a fraud, and you need to buy JP Morgan coins. Actually, nobody will be able to buy JP Morgan coins unless you're part of their banking infrastructure. But don't kid yourself. You know that if they're thinking that if it all works, that they'll make it available to the public at some point. I think they will be surprised. I don't. The last person I want to give my money to or purchase into is a bank. A bank's cryptocurrency. I don't want nothing to do with it. All right? They're not interested. Not interested. Somebody else could do that. I'm never gonna do that. Now, players that could make a difference is your Facebooks, your Amazon coins, or if any of that should ever happen, that could dramatically change the landscape and give Bitcoin a real run for their money. However, I honestly believe those that understand cryptocurrency will always purchase Bitcoin, because it's its own independent entity, not controlled by a corporation, and truly decentralized and owned by the people as a whole. So it's pretty clear to me that dethroning Bitcoin from those that truly understand cryptocurrency is going to be difficult. But there'll be money to be made in just about anything these days. So H-Bomb saying, yeah, you can't buy JP. It's more for big investors. It's institutional investors to be able to transfer money between banks, between divisions, and that type of stuff. It's going to be internal, but who knows what they're planning to do. Let them do whatever they got to do. Glad. Here's the thing: is that it's bringing, it's going to be in the news, and it's bringing the word blockchain and cryptocurrency into people's eye sockets and ear holes. So the fact of the matter is that all PR is good PR. Crypto Man goes, yeah, I just want to let you know that Jamie Dimon is a tool. That guy, this is what's happening. They steal your money. They will tell you it's a fraud. They will tell you it's worthless, and then they will go make one themselves. Don't trust them. They're gonna they try to steal your money. All right. So if they can control a good portion or 50% of Bitcoin, they can control the price. And then the poor saps that are working with it are left. This is the people's money. Don't let them take it. The only way they're gonna get the Bitcoin is they're gonna have to pry it out of my hands. I'm dead. They're gonna have to steal it from me because there's just no way I'm getting rid of mine. All right. H-Bomb goes, yeah, I wish they would just kill off the useless coins already. Yeah, I think that it adds confusion to the new person when you go to CoinMarketCap and there's 2,000 coins on there. Out of the 2,000 coins, I would say there's 250 that have any type of potential and or value. The rest of them are truly, you know, finding the bigger fool. But there are coins that are gonna bring value, and out of that 250, I still say there's good 50 to 75 coins and or tokens that do bring value, that do bring something to the table, and I think will be supported as we go along. All right. Let's see here. So, Crypto Man saying, "Wow, I'm getting close to that much ETN on my 6 Vega 64 rig on Thor's Hammer, doing the same awesome job in conversion." All right. So basically, Crypto Man's running the Vegas, and he's mining most likely Monero, and then the Monero gets converted on Thor's Hammer, and they purchase Electroneum. So that's, you're going to do really well if the coins that you're mining from whatever Monero, whatever base coin that they're mining has a good value, and Electroneum being low, you're going to be able to get a significant value of coins. And as far as collecting the Electroneum, that's brilliant and it's awesome. It doesn't support the actual mechanics of the environment to help secure the Electroneum network, but it is a great way to get a hold of Electroneum. So that's great. The only thing, you know, with 6 Vegas, those do pull a lot of juice. Vega 64 it pulls a lot of juice. The good news with the ASIC, I think it pulled 500 watts, 550 watts, so it's pretty. I mean, that's equivalent to a machine with one card in it, one Vega in it. So those extra Vegas are obviously, you know, they're pulling 150, 180, 190 watts each probably. So your electric costs are going to be dramatically more with the Vegas. But yeah, it's great. Congratulations to you, Crypto Man. I'm glad you're able to get a hold of some Electroneum by mining. How you doing there, Carl? Good to see you. Glad that you made it. And he wants to know exactly, because Carl goes, "Hey Dino, can you tell me what the Electroneum team will announce at the Mobile Congress?" And my answer to you is, hold on, get my list here. This is what's going to be told at the Mobile World Conference. I can't tell you. You're going to have to wait to find out. Yeah, dude, and a surprise guest. Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure there'll be a surprise guest. I didn't know they were talking about that, so that's good stuff. Yeah, we got some marketing to do and some other stuff. Let's see. Oh, it says, Paul saying, "Hey, it's amusing to see Dr. Doom attacking JPM coin for not being a real cryptocurrency. Whether it's real or not, he complains about all cryptocurrencies. If it's a real one, he talks about how it's worthless, and if it's not a real one, he talks about how it's worthless." I don't think the guy likes crypto, period. Ghetto Sega, how you doing? Good to see you out there. And thanks for visiting the show. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. I think I have a button for that. There it is. Yeah, let's get my face out of the way. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. That stuff helps out. If you subscribe, when we hit 1,000 viewers, we're going to give away some Electroneum. And obviously the likes are important. That helps me out to get shown so that others can see the great content. Let's see here. XX goes, "Hey Dino, have you ever heard of special drawing rights? The IMF is planning to make it the next world currency, replacing the US dollar. It feels like they're doing their own coins like the crypto space." No, I am unaware of that. XX, I have not heard of this, so I'm going to look into that to find out if I can understand the basics behind that. So I will take your word on it that that's what looks like they're trying to do. This is a new lead for me, so I'm going to keep my ears to the ground regarding that. Obviously, the IMF doesn't want to lose control. You know, if they have all the money, the last thing they want to do is give it away to anybody, or give away control. You know, economics is power. Oh, it's empty. I hate that. I got my Mint Milanos. These are good, you guys. These are the best, and I got them with raspberry and chocolate. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me bring it over here. Let's see here. Raspberry and chocolate. Let's see. Does it say that? See that little layer of raspberry in there? When I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the mall. Now, for those of you who are young, a mall was a big, big building with lots of stores. And you would walk through the mall instead of typing on Amazon. And in the center, it all came like a star. It had a center spoke, and there was 4 wings, and the anchor stores were on the other. There was a Smith Haven Mall in Long Island, and in the center there was a Barasini's candy. And when my mom was shopping, my dad would go, "Come on, let's go to Barasini's," and he would walk in there, and they would have on in the glass case, and I'd be looking, and oh, Dad, look at there it is, and there'd be these things called jelly rings. And there were raspberry jelly rings, and it was a ring of raspberry, and it was chocolate coated. And my dad would get a little package of those things, and I have to tell you, they were the tastiest things. And I've had an affection for raspberry and chocolate ever since I've been a child, thanks to my father. So, thanks, Dad. Appreciate that, and just let you know, I love you for it. I love the raspberry. Then we got Matthew Sylvia out there. Good to see you, Matt. And he thinks Bitcoin looks good. There's a smart man right there. All right. Michael saying, you need to buy Ravencoin. So I want to talk about this. You brought up a point, and since somebody has mentioned it, I've been mining Ravencoin. It was out about 2 weeks before I got a chance to get into it. And I've been mining it since. Off and on. And it was a, quote, fair startup, and there's nobody, quote, that owns it. It's, decentralized. Obviously, there are some big players in it. You guys know who they are. It's basically Bitcoin with the capability of asset control. Assets meaning securities and non-securities. So you can have the Ravencoin itself is a fungible coin, but you can secure on the Ravencoin network and put your own category of item in there. And the concept behind it is to be able to these guys were into the stock market, and the concept behind it was, hey, there's nothing out there that lets us convert a stock and put it in as a coin. Let's create that, and that's what they did with Ravencoin. So, Ravencoin allows a company to go in and say, we're going to create the DigitSpin coin on segment on Ravencoin, and we're going to have 100,000 or 1 million of them, and to provide the ability to give those out or to sell those. Now, with stocks, the problem lies is that most of the companies don't know who owns the stock, so they have to hire companies to go out there to find out, so they can send out voting to those people. And if you have it with the bank, and then you would earn earnings, or if there's a dividend or what have you. So Ravencoin built that into it. And theoretically, a company, if they filed as a security and said, we want to raise capital, but we want to do it with an STO instead of a public stock offering, they could literally put it on Ravencoin and sell once they clear the FDA and get approved as a security, and put it on Ravencoin and say they have 21 million coins, and then they can sell those to raise capital to run a business. They're going to have to obviously, work just like any public company would, with reports and accounting and what have you. But instead of trading pieces of paper at Charles Schwab or JP Morgan, you could buy the coins off the Ravencoin. It's similar to Polymath, except Ravencoin is decentralized. Nobody owns it, and I think that may give it the quote Bitcoin edge. Now, I think Ravencoin is speculative. I believe that there's an opportunity here, though, because there's no doubt in my mind, my little brain, that at some point it won't make sense to raise capital with an IPO. That you'll be able to do it with an STO, and you'll be able to easily interact with people that own a piece of the company, because Ravencoin lets you send out voting to everybody that owns a share or a coin in that company, and you can vote. And Ravencoin lets them, if they made $1 million and there's 1 million coins out there, they can send $1 to each one, a value to each one of the folks that own the coins, so they can earn a dividend. There is no doubt in my mind this will be the future, the next plateau that's going to make cryptocurrencies go berserk. Just like the STOs of 2017, the ICOs of 2017 made it crazy. When they start offering, quote, stocks as coins, an STO, securities traded, you're going to see a huge influx of funding going into these things. Now, a company could either create their own blockchain and create this stuff and go forth and conquer. They could put it on the Ravencoin network or a Polymath network and run it that way. And I saw a really good opportunity for Ravencoin, so that's the reason why I'm not selling my Ravencoin. I'm going to hold on to it. I think that Ravencoin has a significant value, and let me tell you why. You got Binance listing it and investing in it. Overstock, the guys with Medici Ventures, they're doing a lot with it, and I think there's going to be some behind the scenes things going on that you're going to be surprised one day that this company is going to release on Ravencoin. The one thing that gets me nervous about Ravencoin is that it's completely open source. So if a big company, McDonald's, wanted to do this, would they put their stock onto Ravencoin or their coins onto Ravencoin? Or would they just copy all the code and release their own blockchain? And release their own... Problem lies is that nobody's gonna want to earn... There's no way for them to reward the miners to carry it. So then that means it becomes a centralized environment. So it's a possibility they may have their own centralized environment that you can interact with and sell and buy McDonald's coins. So that's the one thing that gets me nervous. There's some game theory that has to go on there. Whether a company would take the risk on putting it on an open platform or duplicate it, which would just fork it and start it fresh and put their stuff on it, and it becomes their own blockchain. So, but they would have to. It would have to obviously be very centralized. They would have to control it, and that may make sense for it. So I'm very torn on the future of Polymath and Ravencoin. And Ravencoin specifically, I still haven't thought it through completely, but I clearly see a huge benefit for Ravencoin, and I could see breakout significant breakout value in Ravencoin. And on the other side, I can see Ravencoin disappearing or just kind of be out there, and nothing exciting or important ever gets put on it except for some gaming stuff and you know, general assets. So because it just gets forked and they create their own environment for those companies. So I'm very torn on the matter. We'll see what happens. All right, sorry guys. Ravencoin really intrigues me, and it could go major. It could go either way, very easily with it. So that's my thought on it. But at the moment, I like Ravencoin. Okay, I've liked it for the last year. Let's see, Bitcoin, Ravencoin, and Binance Coin. So Matthew's going, yeah, I'm going with Ravencoin, Bitcoin, and Binance. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Binance, Ravencoin, and Bitcoin. I only purchase Bitcoin and Ethereum and Electroneum. I'm going to be honest with you. Those are the only coins I've ever purchased with cold hard cash. Everything else I mine. So, but I mine Bit2, I mine Webdollars, I mine obviously Raven. I've been mining Ethereum Classic. So and converting those out because it pays well reasonably at the moment. I don't ever see Ethereum Classic turning into anything super important, but it's been holding its value at the moment, and so I've been mining that, which is not too bad. Obviously Veriscoin, I put that in the same category as Webdollar as far as potential. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm hoping that Veris will have some good luck and sail beneath their wings, and they'll be able to do something spectacular. Their technology is fantastic. The mechanics behind their blockchain is top notch. We'll just have to see if they strike it rich as far as finding the proper use cases that bring people to their environment. But they have the potential, so we'll see where that turns out. Okay. So Matthew goes, yeah, I have Ravencoin tokens, lots of memes, and even a membership token. There you go. So Matthew says, yeah, I've created some stuff in. Yeah, I think, and it's not that. I think it's only it's not a whole lot of money to create your own asset class in Ravencoin. Obviously, you pay for it with Ravencoin. So, mining Suka also. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I think there's some real potential at Ravencoin. I'm betting on that for a long term, a 5-year, that it's going to have some significant value. I think the potential for Ravencoin is significant if everything goes their way, and they've come very far to be where they are now. So I'm not counting them out. All right. Let's see here. Yep, you create. Absolutely. Yeah. Matthew's saying, hey, you could create a token for your YouTube channel and give all your subs one. Absolutely. That's something that I'll have to play with at some point. As soon as I get some more time, I'd love to do all that. And Matthew, if you have some links or something like that that I can read up on activating the asset class, that would be pretty cool. Send that to me. I'd appreciate that. You can click on in my YouTube channel, you can click on the information news area and information area, and you'll see my email, and you can send that up to me. Yeah, so even Michael was saying the same thing. Good to see you, Michael. Michael saying Ravencoin is Bitcoin 3.0. Ravencoin is a beefed up version of Bitcoin, and no doubt about it. It's with a very specific function. And the nice thing about Ravencoin, it's not code that you program. It's built into the physical mechanics of the blockchain. So it runs effectively and can't be monkeyed with. So yeah, believe me, I've been like I said, I've been working with Ravencoin for over a year. So. Let's see. Sure. You want to create a DigitSpin token? That would be awesome. Go ahead, Mike Matthew. That would be pretty cool. You could send that to me, and then we could do something fun with it. I know that you can also create subclasses inside the master class of the token. So that's kind of cool. Matthew was saying, should I create a DigitSpin crypto token? So just call it the DigitSpin token. We'll just call it DigitSpin. And that'd be kind of cool. That would be fun. This way we can give out a collectible token. Let's see here. Yep, that's why ERC. All right, thanks, Matthew. Let's see what else we got here. And I think that's it. I think we've been running for a while. I don't know how long. But it's 12 o'clock, so I think I've been at least an hour. I think we'll call it a night for tonight. I appreciate all you guys. It's great to sit here and chat with you guys, get a little feedback. Show you off some stuff that I've seen, and you guys to, update me with the things that you found. It's great. It's amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to call it a night for tonight. I thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's always important. And we'll get a Mr. Bean in here real quick. Got to get the Mr. Bean dance going. I appreciate you guys, really. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this and spending the time to make all this happen for you. So it's all good stuff. I'll see you next time. Ciao.